Hi everybody, I'm Geordie McConnell, head coach of the Ottawa Triathlon Club. Today we take a look at the early bird triathlon and duathlon at beautiful Carleton University. We're going to look at this from the standpoint of picking up your race kit first and then through the event. That is your overflow parking, just on the outskirts of the university. So as you're entering to early in the morning before your race or the day before to pick up your kit, you're going to go all the way through all of the parking lots to the very back where you'll find race headquarters. Here's where the registration tent is. You'll pick up your race number and some other goodies. There's Christine. She'll probably be standing right there waiting to welcome you. Then you're going to head back. On your way to the T-zone, you're going to stop on race morning and pick up your timing chip. Remember, no chip, no time. Very important you have that. So you've got your timing chip. Next, you're going to go to the body marking tent. So there's a bunch of magic markers here, and with help of Buddy, you're going to get your numbers drawn on you in different places, and there's lots of volunteers to help guide you. Speaking of volunteers, as you enter the T-zone, the volunteers are going to guide you to the proper racks. So there's racks for try, and sprint and long distance races as well. So you'll take your bike in there and set up your T-zone. Then it's to the pool. Coming out onto the deck, after entering the pool from the front door, you'll see that the queue for the swim goat will wrap all the way around the pool and then come around to our left. And you'll see in a moment that a woman's going to step forward and cross the timing mat, and then right here, and then she's going to dive in. You can see she's got her timing chip on the ankle, and that's where the swim commences. You'll be designated to a lane, and you'll swim up and down the pool however many times is appropriate for your race distance. Now let's follow this father and son, and I believe they pick up their daughter here along the way as well. They're going to slowly walk or carefully walk across the deck and out the back door. Down the stairs very, very carefully, and then on the outside there's steel stairs that you need to obviously be careful with as well. You see the mats there, those are the timing mats. That's where your swim time ends. So that careful walk is included in your swim time. So it may seem like your swim time is a little longer than expected. That's why. But everybody's doing the same event, right? Now, a lot of athletes will bring shoes and leave them in this area. Make sure you remember where you leave your shoes because there's going to be thousands of pairs of shoes. And then it's the 500-meter walk or jog to the transition zone. There's no rush. All right, if you're racing and you want to be on the podium, then yeah, you got to boot it. You got to run for all you're worth. But if you're just a recreational triathlete, take your time. It's a 500-meter walk or jog. So no need to be stressed and out of breath at when you've still got a bike and run to do. So you're going to approach the T-zone where you've got your area set up. And if you're lucky, you'll get a wave from Joni Friedhoff, team captain of BMI. And then into the T-zone you go, over to your bike. Now, when you're in transition, just be relaxed and smooth. You know, the difference between a fast transition and a slow transition is really only 5 or 10 seconds. And in the big picture, it doesn't mean much to most athletes. So breathe and relax and get your bike, and then you're going to don't take your bike out of the rack until your helmet is buckled, by the way. Then you're going to take your bike and you're going to go out the gate and over the mats right there, and that's where your bike time begins. You're walking your bike carefully, and you're going to walk it out to Colonel By, and you'll see that there is a mount line just where that gentleman is getting onto, or lady's getting onto the bike. So you're going to walk your bike, follow the directions of the volunteer to the mount line, and then carefully mount on your bike. There could be 2 or 3 cyclists to either side of you. So do be careful and make sure when you start to ride, go in a straight line. If you're using clipless pedals, don't keep your head down the whole time as you're moving and wander all over the road. As you'll see in a moment, this gentleman is going to actually have some trouble. Then he's going to do just the right thing. He's going to stop and right there and get sure he's in and not interfere with anyone else. And off they go northbound on the cycling route, and you can see the other cyclists coming back after having reached the turnaround. So make sure you know on the website, from the website information, how many loops you're doing on the course. When you're finishing your final loop, you're going to be coming back here, going northbound to the dismount line. So you'll stop before the dismount line, carefully get off your bike, and then carefully run it back into the T-zone. Whenever you're running with your bike or walking with your bike, do be cautious to keep it wide of your hip. What happens sometimes if you keep it too snug to your hip is you'll hit your calf on the pedal as you extend your leg back, and that kind of hurts. So here we go back into the T-zone, and we're going to cross the timing mats that will then end your cycling time. So this transition to and from the mount dismount line will be included in your cycling time. So into the T-zone, your legs are feeling rather tired after the ride. That's normal, same for everybody. But we have a run to do. So you're going to leave your helmet on until you rack your bike, and then take your helmet off. Do any changes you need to get into your cycling, into your running gear, excuse me. And then you're going to go to the end of the row and look for the far corner of the T-zone. You can see that blue flag way in the back there, which is the run exit. So when you start, if you want to start walking or you want to start jogging, know that those legs are going to be sore, but they will come. So just get into your rhythm, and this is part of triathlon. If swimming was the last event, then it would be the hardest event. But running is the last, so you just got to suck it up and put one foot in front of the other and relax, because you can do this. You're full of fitness. Here's one nice thing about the running course is a lot of it is on grass, so it's nice and soft. But you're going to come out here towards Colonel By, following the volunteers and the cones along the side of Colonel By, heading south. Each event has a different turnaround point, so make sure again you know your turnaround points. There will be volunteers at all of them to help guide you, and signs and such, but know what your run distance is. So after you turn around, you're going to be coming back, and this is where, just like these two ladies, you're going to start to think about your finish, because it's all about the finish, folks. It's got to be spectacular. So you're going to come back in, you're going to follow those cones back up. Now here's a big tip, is the team from Zoom Photo is going to be out there, but they're not going to be taking your photo typically at the finish line itself, but in the chute, in the 20 to 30 meters in advance of the chute. So if you've got a really great pose planned, you got to strike that pose, but then you got to hold it for about 20 or 30 meters if you want a guarantee of having a really good picture. So here we are into the finish chute. Suddenly all that fatigue is behind you. You're full of adrenaline, full of energy, and you're giving it all down to the finish, striking that pose. And then of course for the many thousands of fans that'll be cheering you, you can go airborne at the finish line there, or whatever you want to do. You saw the timing clock there as well. And after you finish, our volunteers are waiting for you to give you some Gatorade or some fluid replacement drink, and maybe a great banana like that one. And then finally, it is what you're here for, the medal. Congratulations, everybody.